In case you didn't know, Halo is getting a second season. I don't know why. I don't know anybody that liked this show. I barely know anybody that watched it. And like I said, the ones that didn't like it. I have yet to see a large community of gamers that like Halo come out and say they dug this show. How appropriate, though, that the Season 2 poster has Paul Schreiber sitting on a throne with his helmet off. Because the entire season, he barely wears his helmet. And he comes out and defends this and is like, well, it's necessary to take the helmet off because you can't tell a story with the character in a mask, which is BS. Plenty of stories out there where the characters stick to their convictions and don't take the helmet off. Dread. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go watch it. Carl Urban stars as Dredd in that movie. Never takes his helmet off. The Mandalorian did kind of at first commit to the no helmet thing, but then they eventually took his helmet off. He should have never taken his off either, to be honest. But there are examples out there where characters never take their helmets off. And that's how it should be for certain characters. They're defined by their mysterious. Like, it's a mysterious character. Master Chief shouldn't be taking his helmet off. But they do it. And now they're out there defending it and outright saying, hey, if you don't like this, you won't be a fan of the show. This has been making the rounds over the past couple of days, so I thought I would talk about it. Halo actor Pablo Schreiber insults fans. If you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show. Well, going by the Rotten Tomatoes, which I know can be problematic, but let's just take it for what it is because I actually think this is right. Critics didn't really like it, and audiences didn't like it. Top critics take it down to 45% rotten. So this is one of the few times that fans and critics actually agree a show sucks. I just don't. They must have paid upfront for 2 seasons of this show. That's the only thing I can think of. Paramount makes this show. In case you didn't know, Paramount's laying a shitload of people off. They're calling it another Hollywood bloodbath. Probably because they waste their money on this kind of bullshit. So, what a stupid statement. You should have fought this, first off. And the only reason that these actors don't fight this is because they want to show their face. Pablo Schreiber wants to show his face. That's why. Because if he didn't show his face, you wouldn't have any idea that he's Master Chief. And he wants you to know he's Master Chief. But that's not committing to the bit. Love that Dredd movie. You don't see his face one time in that movie. The mask never comes off. Ever. That's how it should be. Unless the character dies or something. Then you take it off. Like Darth Vader. You didn't see him with the mask off until he died. Halo actor Pablo Schreiber attempted to shut down criticism of the show for having his character, Master Chief, remove his helmet. Not only did he attempt to shut down the criticism he did it by insulting fans of the franchise. Speaking with SFX magazine, Schreiber said people who don't feel the helmet was necessary to come off, they are at such an early conception of what the show could be. He continued, in order to examine the discrepancy between these two versions of the character, Chief and John 117, you can't tell that story without taking the helmet off. He then decided to insult the fans of the franchise. If you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show, so there's no point discussing it. Oh, don't even bother trying to win those fans back. Instead, let's just insult them and tell them to get effed. All right. You can tell he's tired of this discourse. The reason that people keep bringing it up, Pablo, is because you shouldn't be taking the stupid helmet off. And I totally disagree with this comment that you need to have a difference between Chief and John. I'm sorry, but you don't. They're the same person. A good storyteller could make that work. Could definitely make that work and make it interesting. And, you know, if you want to have the helmet come off for some reason, you could do things to like put shadows over his face or have him take it off and have his back of his head to the camera. And honestly, you just don't even need to make this show. It's a video game that doesn't need to be adapted into a show. But they're doing it anyway, obviously for money reasons. But I don't think this show is making any money. I don't think it's making any money. Because, number one, Halo has been kind of on a decline. Two, the hardcore fans of this are never going to accept the helmet coming off. So you're basically telling the hardcore fans to get lost. You don't even want to talk to them about it. That's kind of shitty. And three, you're just saying this shit to defend the bad storytelling. The show itself is bad. It's not Master Chief, it's Master Cheeks. Like that sex scene, bare ass in the last one. Halo doesn't need that stuff. But they're going to put it in there anyway because they have no idea what the hell they're doing. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.